ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaste my dear friends, this is video number 11 on the Divine Discourses of Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba for the sadhakas undergoing the sadhana for self-realization and finally leading to liberation. Topic of this video is nature. Discourse number 19, Nature, God and Man. Men run hither and thither in search of food, of worldly goods, of position and pelf, name and fame, but few seek to realize God. This is the truth declared unto you. Men pursue intensively mundane studies, but do not seek to study the path to liberation. Dear students, the cosmos is the magnificent manifestation of the divine. When you direct your vision on this vast creation, you are filled with awe and wonder. True education consists in understanding the inner meaning of this creation. At first sight, what we see are inert objects like mountains and hills. We cannot see any sign of Chaitanya, consciousness in these objects. The second category of objects are trees. There is consciousness in them, but they cannot move from place to place. They are stationary. The third category are living beings. Besides consciousness, these have the capacity of motion. Man belongs to the fourth category. He has not only fully developed consciousness, but has another extraordinary, marvelous quality. That is the supreme gift of Sambhasan, speech. Starting with the inert, we have the conscient, the mobile beings, and the human species with the power of speech. If this progression in the creative process is tightly understood, we can realize how important is the advent of man. Om is the primal letter in the alphabet. The ancient sages, after performing severe penances and making profound enquiries, realized and declared how unique is the human birth. Vedacham etam purusam mahantam adityah varnam tamsaha parastaha. We have known that there is a supreme Purusha who is effulgent like the sun and who transcends tiredness. By their penance, meditation, and intuition, they recognized two things. One is Aksara, the alphabet, and the other is Sankhya, numbers. In the alphabet, the primal letter is Om. All other letters have emerged from the Parnava Om. Om is the first letter among all letters. It comprehends within itself all other letters of the alphabet. During bhajans, when the harmonium is played, the bellows are pressed and the reeds are manipulated. We have the musical notes sa, re, ga, ma, ra, na, pa, da, ni. What is the source of these seven notes? It is the same air that produces the notes. That air is filled with Omkara, and it is that Om which produces the separate notes sa, re, ga, ma, etc. Likewise, among Numbers we start with 1 and go to 9, 10. In all the numbers, 1 is the primary number. All the other numbers are multiple variations of 1. If you take away 1 from 9, you have 8. If you add 1 to 8, it becomes 9. What comes and goes is 1 alone. What remains is also 1. Nature and divinity. From this, the sages drew the inference that the beginning and the end are one, which is the divine. They declared that this one is the bijam, seed of the cosmos. No seed exists without husk because the grain is covered by husk. Its parts are not visible to us. For the cosmos, Prakriti, nature is the husk. The seed of divinity is within it and enveloped by it. We cannot experience the seed of divinity within as long as it is covered by the husk of nature. We have to endeavor to get at the truth about nature. The Upanishads declared Isvarvasham idam sarvam. All this is permeated by the divine. That means there is only one thing that is immanent in the entire universe. If the truth declared by the Upanishads are to be understood, we have to seek the truth of everything in our daily lives. For instance, why has nature comes into being? Nature's role is to help man. The crowning achievement of the evolutionary process to realize the divinity immanent in creation. Mountains help man to build houses by using stone slabs quarried from them. Trees provide the timber for constructing houses and also firewood for domestic use. Among animate beings, every creature from an ant to an elephant is of assistance to man in one way or another. Cows provide nourishing milk to man. Bullocks are useful for plowing the fields and helping to grow food crops. All other creatures like birds, fish and sheep and others are serving man in different ways. Seen in this light, it will be clear that all things in creation are helpful to man in leading his life. Even the sun and the moon are serving man. The sages regarded the sun as an important deity and worshipped him through the Gayatri mantra. Man's debt to nature. Thus, man is deriving innumerable debt from nature and enjoying the amenities provided by nature in various ways. But what is the gratitude he is showing to nature? What gratitude he is offering to the divine? He is forgetting the divine who is the provider of everything. That is the reason for his becoming a prey to various difficulties and calamities. While he is receiving countless gifts from Providence, he is offering nothing in return to nature or God. Thus, this shows how unnatural and heartless is the behavior of man. When we are enjoined to return good for evil, how unbecoming it is to fail even to return good for good. Man is not learning the great lessons nature is teaching him. The foremost lesson is doing service with no expectation of return. People ask, where is God? The answer is provided by nature. Who is it that has created the five elements, the five life breaths and five seats, the five external sense organs and the five internal sense organs, which are all ceaselessly carrying on their functions according to their prescribed rules. The seasons in their regular cycle are teaching a good lesson to man. Therefore, nature is the demonstrable proof for the existence of God. Nature is not under any obligation to any man. It takes no orders from any man. It operates according to the will of the divine. Science is being used for destructive purposes. The artificial instruments produced by man function for a time and then becomes useless. Scientists today have launched many satellites in space. Sooner or later they cease to function and drop away. No one knows how, when, and in what circumstances the planets in nature were created, but they have been going round in space ceaselessly, unfailingly for billions of years. These planets have been created for the welfare of mankind and not for destructive purposes. God is the creator of the world for man's good. All the planets created by Him are serving mankind. Many of the missiles and space instruments produced by scientists are for destructive purposes. Science is being used more for destruction than for construction. What is the reason for this? The ego is the cause. The sense of egoism and conceit arising from it is the root cause of the destructive tendencies in man. Man today is placing more faith in his physical and mental strength than in the strength coming from faith in God. How long can it last? In a mere fit of sneezing, life may leave this body. What meaning is there in regarding it as permanent? Let no one be proud about his beauty, strength, and youth. The ravages of old age are ahead and will overwhelm him. Even while you feel puffed up by your strength and energy as a youth, age creeps on you irrevocably. With the body bent, wrinkled on the face, and bleared eyes, the old man becomes a butt of jokes for juveniles who call him an old monkey. What is lasting in all this? Everything is subject to change and decay in this world. Whether it be physical objects or individuals, all are transient and impermanent. Nothing is lasting, only your purity is permanent. Purity is the essential nature of man, but if man leads a polluted life, he is degrading himself. Love does not seek any return. Man's purity is manifest when human relations are based on heart to heart and love to love. Love has a form of a triangle with three arms. Prema, divine love, does not seek any return. What an individual offers love in expectation of a return, fear or taxing. The one who loves with no expectation of any return is totally free from fear. Love knows only to give, not to receive. Such a love is free from fear. For true love, love is its own reward. Thus, love seeks no return, is free from fear, and is its own reward. These are the basic features of true love. Love today is based on desire for a return benefit. It is filled with fear and anxiety. Thus, love is motivated. When love is based on a desire for transient and perishable objects, life will be futile. Love must be its own reward. You have to show your gratitude to God. Love is eternal. You are the embodiment of love. You are the embodiment of peace. You are the embodiment of truth. You are the embodiment of God. It is only when this supreme truth is realized and our life is based on it that our love can make our life meaningful and enable us to comprehend the world. Your studies, your conduct, your actions, all that you see, hear, and think, all these should be regarded as offerings to the divine. This is the true meaning of Saranagati, taking refuge in the divine. All that is seen, heard, or experienced should be considered as intimations of the divine. Have faith in the reality of God's existence. You have to show your Gratitude to God for the benefits showered on you. Consider, for instance, how the divine has filled the atmosphere with life giving oxygen to enable you to live. The biggest fan made from man can provide breeze only for a small area, but the winds caused by nature can blow over the whole world. Who is the cause of this wind? These are three kinds of lamps in this mandir. They illumine a small space, but the sun created by God illumines the whole world. We pump water with the help of pump sets. Can all the water pumped by these sets equal a fraction of the water got from a heavy downpour of rain which can inundate the Ganga? Who is it that is providing this air, this water, and this illumination? We are enjoying all these, but show no gratitude to the provider of the benefits. We render thanks to those who render trifling acts of service. But what thanks are we expressing to God who is providing such essential life sustaining amenities for meaningful human existence? Can this be a virtue in a human being? Is it a sign of a right education? Is the mark of a scholar? No, you must show your gratitude with humility and sincerity to whatever has done you any good. You must shade your narrow outlook. Education that does not promote gratitude is worthless. It is the parents who give you education. The guru is the educator. The divine has given you the capacity to get educated. Hence, the mother, father, and the guru are to be revered as God, as enjoined in the Vedas. You must show your gratitude to your parents, offer due respect to the teacher, and base your life on faith in God. You may feel proud that you are getting on in life by your own abilities and intelligence. This is utterly foolish. You must cultivate a wide appreciation of nature. You must shade your narrow outlook. Realize, for instance, how small is the eye, but it is able to see the whole universe. Even your eye is teaching you a lesson. What a fool are you! In spite of my minuscule smallness, I am able to see the whole universe with my wide vision, but your mind has a very narrow outlook. You must try to broaden your heart and enlarge your mind. You must dedicate your chitta, will, to the divine. This discourse was given at the Prashanti Mandir, 12 July 1988. Do not jump to conclusions abdicating your discrimination, and do not deny the validity of your own experiences. Stand on your strength, be unmoved either by adulation or denigration. Follow my lead, I am unaffected by either, and march on alone. Undeterred and of my own accord, I am my own guide and witness. Have full faith in this. Discourse number 20, Wealth or Grace. Embodiments of divine love. Man's life is determined by his qualities. The transformation of the world is related to the transformation of the individual. The world will change only when the individual changes. When individuals are good, society also becomes good. We tend to attach importance only to the external forms of social institutions. We lay stress on the conditions prevailing in the political, economic, social, and environmental spheres. Changes in these spheres alone are not enough. Mental and spiritual transformation is more essential. What man should seek is not longevity in life but divinization of life. He must develop his good qualities. The span of life is determined by time. It is virtue that has to be nourished. The character and conduct of a person are based upon his qualities. Forgetting this truth, people go after changes in the external conditions of life. When the Yaksha asked Dharmaraja in the Mahabharata who is the guide and protector for the world, the latter replied, only the good man is the protector of the world. If there were no good people in the world, it would be a helpless world. Students seek only material gains. Hence, today, even more than the teacher, it is the students who have to be exemplary and high minded. Teachers and students today do not live up to this ideal. Students are self seeking and self centered. Likewise, the teachers also are self regarding and self seeking. Students go to teachers only to get their desires fulfilled. When their wishes are satisfied, they feel content, otherwise, they are disappointed. They are even prepared to take up cud- cudgels, cudgels against teachers. The result is that harmonious relations between teachers and students do not develop. What is most deplorable today is the indifference of students to their mental development because they are concerned only about their narrow personal interest. They seek only material gains. Vairagam, renunciation of desires, is not a virtue that can be got by a message from others or as a result of prodding by someone. However, many books you may read or discourses you may listen to or advice you may receive. The spirit of renunciation has to emanate from the heart within you. It cannot come from outside. Buddha's father, Suddhodana, tried every conceivable means to prevent his son from developing detachment, but he could not prevent Buddha from renouncing the kingdom and family and leading the life of a renunciant. Our life is not based entirely on annam food, it is based on the Atma spirit. One who regards food as the basis of life is an agyani, ignorant of the truth. The one who realizes that the spirit alone is everything in life is a Vijnani, the man of higher knowledge. Aranti Deva declared, O Lord, the man who regards food as the summum bonum of life is a papi, sinner. The man who seeks a spiritual life is a gopi, a pure devotee of God. Power of love alone, power of love alone confers true strength. Krishna Chaitanya once went to the temple of Jagannath at Puri. He was a handsome youth at the time. He addressed Lord Jagannath in these terms, O Lord, you are not merely Jagannath, the Lord of the world, you are the Lord of all the worlds of the cosmos, the Lord of life, the Lord of the Spirit, and Lord of all embodied beings. You can accomplish anything. I do not seek from you the powers of yoga or physical strength. I seek only the power of your love. Your love will give me all the strength I need. It will be my real strength. The power of love alone confers true strength. All other powers are of no avail. Hence, the only strength we should seek from God is the strength of love. With that strength, all the powers can be acquired. It is not it is not wealth that we should desire. We should yearn for Hari. It is not a man of riches who is a Maharaja. They consider only those who have renounced everything as Maharaja, real rulers. It is not rolling in wealth that constitutes enjoyment. To be immersed in God's love and thoughts of God is the greatest enjoyment as well as true yoga. Chaitanya declared that the Lord is the indweller in my heart because according to the Lord's own declaration, my Atma abides in all beings as the indwelling Atma. It should not be imagined that the Lord is only this human body. He is present everywhere in the cosmos. He is timeless without beginning or end. You must try to develop the awareness of this omnipresent divine in your heart. All wealth is impermanent and unreal. Today we seek to accumulate all kinds of wealth by various activities. When these activities themselves are transient and evanescent, how can the wealth acquired by them be lasting? All of them are impermanent and unreal, as declared in the Gita. There is only one permanent and immutable reality, that is God. People are forgetting this truth. You may appear externally to be a great devotee and claim that you are doing many things to please God, but the truth cannot be hidden from God. You must consult your conscience, and find out whether your devotion is genuine. Annamacharya, the composer, sang many songs in which he hailed God as his sole refuge and sport. Later, he had the realization that he had been trying to deceive God by his words. Then a great change came over him. We should realize that we cannot please God by our books or our songs or by our learning and scholarship, nor is it possible to please God by intellectual eminence or clever tricks. Annamacharya declared the degree of everyone's spiritual attainment depends on the nature of his thoughts. O Lord, whatever the feelings with which one envisages you, you appear to him within that form. Divine grace is in proportion to the measures of your devotion. You can take from the vast ocean only the amount of water your vessel can contain. According to the purity of your actions, we will get the fruits thereof. Our precious human birth can be redeemed only by developing human qualities and leading a righteous life. You, the students, must make good use of the golden opportunity you have got now. Besides worldly education, cultivate meditation on God and develop the inner vision. Become Raja Yogis. Raja Yoga implies doing your duty without concern for the results and dedicating yourself to the service of society and welfare of humanity. This is the penance which Emperor Janaka did. Seek to experience the divine internally. The foremost duty of students is to concentrate on their studies, behave in an exemplary manner in all their relations with the outside world, and seek to experience the divine internally as a spiritual discipline. The first sutra aphorisms in the Brahma Sutras declared Athato Brahma Jigjansa. Then thereafter seek to know the Dharma. In the four words of the sutra are contained the meaning of life. To begin with, the nature of creation has to be understood. We have to view creation in relation to its vilakshana, extraordinary magnificence. Next, our conduct has to be salakshana, harmonious. and orderly. We have to realize that the whole universe is permeated by the Vishnu Swarupa divine. Our conduct should be such that no one can point a finger of criticism at us. It should be blameless and pure. If the heart is also pure, one will not get immersed in body consciousness. The body is doubtless an essential instrument for fight living, and its health and fitness should be safeguarded. But our main concern should be to experience the divine in everything in creation. If the latter is ignored, physical existence alone will have no meaning. Karma, dharma, and Brahma. In this context, how is one to seek the knowledge of the Brahma? This quest can begin after one has acquired knowledge of Dharma. That is, after the stage of Dharma, Jijnana has been completed. When is Dharma Jijnana accomplished? When karma jijnana, the knowledge of karma has been mastered. There are thus three stages: karma, jijnana, knowledge of karma; dharma, ji- jigyansa, knowledge of dharma; and Brahma, jigyansa, knowledge of Brahma. This means the progress is from karma to dharma and from dharma to Brahma. Hence, one must have full faith in karma, prescribed duties, and dharma, the principle of right conduct. To observe dharma, one has to ensure purity in thought, word, and deed. Dharma is the basic goal of life. Sri Rama has been described as the very embodiment of dharma. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Surrender yourself to the will of the divine. Students should bear in mind the rules of right conduct that should govern their life. They are passing through the most precious and sacred period in their lives. They should be well used. Dedicate all your thoughts and aspirations to God and surrender yourself to the will of the divine. Surrender may appear to be difficult, but it is not so. It is in fact like keeping your money in the bank. You will be able to draw money from the bank whenever you need it. Similarly, when you have entrusted all your concerns to Bhagwan, you can draw from him whatever you need. What is it that stands in the way of this surrender? It is your ego and your possessiveness. You do not have sufficient trust in the Lord. People desperately cling to their possessions, saying, "My money, my house," and so on. They forget that when you surrender to the divine, you acquire His grace. Sometime or the other, your wealth will go, but once you have earned the grace of God, you can feel secure and satisfied. Bhagwan does not need your wealth. He is also a Chittachora, one who steals the heart, not a Vithachora, a stealer of wealth. It is you who have to change from Vithachora to Chittachora. Discourse in the Prasanti Mandir, 17 July 1988. So I feel completed this video at this stage, and next video will start with the discourse number 21, 3 in 1. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Namaskar my dear friends, namaskar.